You run Squirrel AI. That is about sort of individual learning and making sure that you adapt to the student and the speed and the way that they learn so that they perfect their skills. Can you talk a little bit about this question of if you rely on AI too much, you don't build the learning muscles that you need for the future, but you also need to be fluent in AI. So how do you think about that with your company?
I think if the kids now in our world using too much of AI like ChatGPT to finish their homework, actually in decades the human brain will shrink. It's like in the past 100 years, the machine take our muscle work and our muscle shrink. That's the same. But we have to use AI, but in the right way. It's like in the sport class, you should not use motorcycle to run. You have to build your brain inside. And then you know how to build AI or manipulate AI, right? Not be the slave of AI.
So if you have systems that help students learn mathematics better or physics or something like that, do you have AI that helps students learn the more human skills that are going to be valuable in the future? Do you have that technology?
Yeah. I can compare Squirrel AI with ChatGPT. In the launch of 4.0, the ChatGPT teach Khan's son about one question. But for us, we see that very stupid approach. Because for millions of students, we give them millions of solutions by asking one question. Because some students cannot understand the question. We have to go to very below and solve the weakness before and then choose this question. But some others may lack some learning skills and mode of thinking to solve that question. So different students need different personalized approach. Not just something answer the student question.
When we had that question, the answer I think most of you, all of you gave was all of those need to work together. Derek, one of the things we chatted briefly before, and one of the things you talked about was how in China you're thinking about how the nature of a teacher needs to change quite a lot. So instead of teaching things, the teacher becomes more of a coach around human skills. Can you talk a little bit about that? And to Omar's point, whether that transition works or whether people who went into the teaching industry to teach won't want to be life coaches and they'll leave and you'll need a different set of people. So how does that work?
The government wants to change the core of the teaching and the evaluation. But it's very hard to make that change. As Amit said, it's very hard for everybody to evaluate the soft skill, how to evaluate. But we find a way, try to do it better. We devoted the soft skill like leadership, critical thinking, creative thinking into 300 very small elements so that we could define it, we could test it, and we could train it. For example, to how to evaluate the level of love. It's like a mystery. But if you devoted love for money, love for sex, love for spirit, different, very small, so we can understand more. The mystery is.
Can you teach with AI love? Is that it?
We could do that, yeah.
So that's kind of the answer to my last question I was going to pose to all of you, which is basically, if you were to give one piece of advice to parents raising children right now, what would it be? And I'm going to take your answer as mindset of beginner rather than expert. Derek, what's your answer to that?
I couldn't agree more because I think millions of teachers will lose their job because of AI education. It will take their job. They have to change into another form of care about the personality and the humanity of the kids. But I see most of the teachers, they do not want to change. It's like Jackie Chan. If you give him machine gun and a drone, he will throw it away and use Chinese Kung Fu.